Carin MacLean Foundation does. So let's go around. Let's start with you, Allison. Let's tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Okay. I am Allison Fitzgerald, and my actual title will probably be director. All three of us are co-founders of the organization, but I handle the websites, a lot of the organizing, and the financial aspect of our foundation.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Trisha, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I feel like again, like Allie said, we share a lot of responsibilities as far as like going through recipients and planning fundraisers. But I guess I really shine at social media and grant writing and kind of writing as a whole, like when we're writing things about recipients and on our website. And so yeah, a lot of I'm kind of like our ghostwriter behind the scenes.
Yes, and you're
Oh,
also
that
our, like you said, our social media guru or marketing guru is what I'm labeling you as.
Yeah, I do a lot of the marketing. Yeah, I guess I forget all I do, but it's always a group collective effort. But
that's awesome. Jill, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Sure. I'm Jill and also co-founder. And I do a lot of, I guess, research type things. I look stuff up, find businesses that we're going to work with, just stuff like that. I don't really know what to call it. Again, we don't really label ourselves as certain, like we all pick up the slack when others can't, and we kind of find what we're good at. And then, and if someone's on vacation, someone else takes over.
Yeah, I'd have to say between the three of us, it's a big collaboration because we all have we all have our day jobs. And then this foundation is our second job, besides being mothers, wives, everything else. So depending on how crazy each other's weeks are, we have goals that we need to get done every week. And it's like, hey, I'm slammed with this. Can you help with that? So it's really, we have certain things that we're each, especially good at, but when someone's, can't get to something, we're always good with helping each other.
I think that's the nonprofit world in general. You jump in and do what you can as the CEO and founder of my own foundation itself. I totally feel what you're saying. You jump in and you do what you need to do. But Trish, I want you to tell everybody exactly what the foundation is and what your goal is.
Yeah, okay. So our foundation specifically helps moms that are fighting cancer, that have school-aged children in their home. And our goal with working with these families is to really provide as many amenities as we can to make their journey with cancer as smooth as we can from our end. None of us are medical experts by any means, but we do know firsthand what moms that have cancer go through. We know, that it doesn't stop at just meals or a couple house cleanings. It's grants for bills. Sometimes it's a much needed vacation to make some memories. We do photography sessions for them. Recently, our biggest newest achievement, we wrote a children's book because we knew that there's just no great literature out there. You read everything to your kids, right? You read about a goldfish dying and you read about the first day of school, but what happens when mom gets sick? How do you normalize it, right? So I guess that, and with our new programs that we're creating, I guess that is our goal is to kind of be a one-stop shop. We want to provide grants so that the kids can keep going to their sports, and it's not gonna, I guess, upend the house's schedule. And we want to kind of take care of both the children, especially the mothers, and the husband. Kind of be a one-stop care support service for these families, because I think so many people go through the stereotype, I'm not going to get cancer till I'm old, right? I'm not getting cancer. A quarter of all new cancer diagnoses in the last 4 years have been people between 22 and 45. So and then think of how many people are parents in there. So unfortunately, one in like 5 of your friends is going to get cancer, and who do you turn to? So we want to be a major resource in New England for all of these families.
Yeah.
It's so true, because a 4-time cancer survivor myself, I know exactly what you're talking about, because my journey started when my children were young as well. So I know it firsthand, and what you guys do is truly amazing. But Allison, tell us a little bit about Carin, the one that the foundation is named after.
Yeah, so I was actually going to also say something about the age group that we specified, and I'll get into that. So all three of us were very close, best friends with Carin. I myself met her when we were in college together, so in the late 90s. And she was actually my tennis partner. We both played on the tennis team in college. And I've been friends with her since I was 18 years old. And she's originally from Maine, but after college, she ended up moving to Rhode Island. And as a coincidence, not that we're following each other, but I also ended up in Rhode Island because I'm originally from Mass. And our first child, were both born like a couple of months apart. And after she had her first child, she decided to stay home and she joined the local moms group. I was still working full time during my first and second child, but that's at the moms group is where she met Jill and Trish. So she told me all about her new friends. And then we just clicked from the beginning, and we've been inseparable since. And unfortunately, down the road, I think it was when her daughter was 3, her son was 1 year old, is when she got the diagnosis. And I remember that because it was in September, and she said, you know what, I just want to enjoy one Halloween trick-or-treating with them before I start this and head down this road. I just want to have a normal holiday with the children and then start at this. And I have to say, since that happened, I think it's all changed all of our lives. I mean, it's had such a huge effect. She fought so hard for 2.5 years. And I mean, we were there, just whatever she needed, we were there. And so when she did pass, I think it was 6 months afterwards, we said, if you guys remember, we were at a little bagel shop, and we said, yes, our kids were doing a little gym, activity. And we said, you know what, we really want to do something to honor her memory, but like, what can we do? We said, well, we can, do something small, go under the umbrella of American Cancer Society or something like that. And the more we discussed, the more we said, no, we want to have something in her name, because we know that this age group, this demographic, young mothers that may have just stopped working, and then they can they have one income coming in so they can raise their kids at home. This happens, they don't have a huge nest egg. They don't have something to fall back on.
There's no equity in our houses.
Yes, and it's so scary. So that's also the reason why, when we were specifying who exactly we wanted to help, we do not help fathers and children. I know there's lots of other organizations that we do, but to really honor and remember Carin, we're helping someone that was in the same situation, or moms that are in the same situation with her, that have school age children under 18, high school and young. Because one of the things I remember, and this will be the last one, is when her kids were both home, it was fine because they didn't have to pay for childcare because they had a one income home. So that was a huge thing, because she was so sick and her husband had to try to work the hours that he could, and then have to pay for childcare for 2 kids. So that's something that we come across a lot when people apply for assistance. Like, that's a huge burden that they, cannot afford during this time.
Yeah. Jill, tell me a little bit about how you guys all got started, when this got started, and how you've grown over the years.
Sure. Well, Allison touched upon it a little bit. I think it was about 6 months after. I think we kind of even became closer after she passed, because we felt like this camaraderie of, like, it's our group now. We spent so much time together. So we just always did things together. And so we formed it and we became official in 2014. And I think, did the paperwork come in like May or June? June. And we actually ended up having our first walkathon in September of that year. And like looking back, I don't know how we got through all of the paperwork and everything to have this walkathon, but it was really successful. We only had one recipient because we didn't know how to find recipients at that time. And it was, I don't know, I don't know, it just kind of not became addictive, but it was just so like, wow, we could do this. Like we could really do this. So every year we've hosted a 5K or walkathon. We kind of upgraded to the 5K after like 2 years. We realized people like to run, I guess. And started mixing in other events in there. We've tried a gala and a circus night. Some other little fundraisers mixed in, but the walkathon is really, really what brings in the funds for us every year. So it's just, we've been trying to grow over the past 8 years, 9 years of these events, but you kind of get to a little bit of a standstill some of the years. COVID happens, you can't hold events anymore, all of these problems, but we've always kind of figured out how to get over the little hump of, once you hit it, you just jump over it a little bit. So we're trying to get big though. We're trying to get much bigger. And so we can help much, much more than what we do now.
That's awesome. Trish, tell me a little bit about how you find recipients and how many people have you served in the last 9 years?
So at this point, at first, like Jill said, we were kind of like, it was word of mouth at first. We were like, do you know anybody that we could help? And who could we were looking at kind of GoFundMe's like, well, we could help this woman. And then what happens is, so you do kind of, we built a rapport with so many social workers at hospitals. Well, I'm going to put you guys in my Rolodex, would hear, and then would hear it again and hear it again. And before long, we're at this kind of place that it feels like every major hospital in New England's social worker has us in their Rolodex. We get applications from Maine, we get applications from Mass, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, all from social workers at hospitals that contact us, and they know the drill. They have them fill out the application and they sign off on it, and we take it from there. It's a tough business to be in because I want to say there is no, what am I looking for? There is no slow point, or has not been in the last 2 years of maybe a month that applications are not coming in. They're coming in.
If anything, it's skyrocketed.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we're receiving an application or two. It feels like a week. I feel like our money used to last, all year. Now I feel like 6 months, and we're like, oh my gosh, the demand is high and we want to fulfill the demand. It's just, how do you find the funds? It feels like nowadays there's a nonprofit all around you, and we're trying to kind of stand out and be the resource that we want to be. So we're really trying to look for the future, like what can we do? Grants, we're hoping, are a huge win because we have so many recipients monthly coming in.
Wow. Allison, what are some of the largest things that you pay for, or the biggest ask of your recipients?
What is the biggest thing that we ask of our recipients? Is that what you said?
No. What is usually the biggest ask, or what you pay for your recipients?
That they ask.
Oh, okay. I would have to say probably it's probably a toss up between mortgage and childcare. One of our latest recipients, I'm not going to, divulge in any personal information, but she had a large backlog from childcare because she just couldn't keep up and, couldn't work. So the income wasn't coming in. And people will specifically send us, these certain bills to say, I just need help with this, but it probably mortgage and childcare are been two of the biggest ones that we've had. And it's not just like, okay, or electric bill or what, but it's just not from this month. It's like, this is the past 6 months. We've been so, and we're scared. We don't want, to have heat shut off or whatnot, and so when we see that, we try to do anything we can to help.
Yeah. About how many people, Jill, did you say that you've helped? Like, I know you probably don't have an exact figure, but about how many women have you helped?
Allison would actually probably have a better idea of the numbers because she has all the spreadsheets.
I
Do you know
am,
how
but
many
I just
families?
actually,
I know we just updated it. We just
we
accepted
just
a whole bunch of
updated
new
it, and it's
people.
actually the last time. So we're at almost 200,000 with about 80 families. So 80 mothers, cancer patients that we've helped.
That is an incredible number, and that is awesome. So if somebody doesn't find you through like a caretaker or a hospital, how else can they find you? How else can they contact you?
Our website, we have the application is all written on the website. It is www.carinmacleanfoundation.org. I don't know if I should spell out Carin MacLean because it's a little different, but
Yeah, you should spell it out. Just make sure
Sure.
that everybody is spelling it correctly so they know how
All
to
right.
find.
Great. So it is www.carinmaclean Foundation, which is FOUNDATION.org. And all the information is actually listed on the website about how to apply, the paperwork that we need to apply, all the documents that you need to provide us. We don't ask for financial information, but we do need some proof that like you are a real person and you are not trying to scam us.
Yeah. And what kind of documentation do you look for, Allison? Like, what are some of the things that you would accept from somebody?
So our guidelines are pretty specific. You need to be obviously a mother, and we should also note that we have had, it doesn't have to be a biological mother, because we have had cases where someone's watched over, or it happens to be the mother's, may have passed away, but they have taken the role of the mother, even if it's not biological. So I just want to be a little more specific on that. Have children, school-age children, so that means high school and younger. They also have to be a citizen of the United States, resident of one of the New England states, and be in active treatment, which is defined as 3 or more appointments with a physician per year. And so with that,
Go ahead.
I was going to say our application actually asks, it's all confidential, but we ask some information where they have to, they also tell us their story of what's going on and what specifically they need assistance with. There's a whole little where they can check off, it's just financial assistance, they need help with certain bills, or they need meal prep, or they need groceries with delivery, house cleaning services. So we also ask specifically, but when they write their story, their summary, they tell us exactly, what's going on. And one of the things that we do when we accept recipients is that they also sign off that we share their story with all of our supporters. So all of our supporters know exactly where every penny is going, and it's something so they can put a face so they know where their dollar's going.
That's incredible. Have you had any woman not want to put her face out there, or not, want it to be public? And how would you deal with something like that?
So I've actually, out of all the families, the women that we've helped, we've only had one, and she didn't mind her story, but she didn't want the picture of her children, which I completely understand. We don't ask for pictures of your children. We just ask if, you could share even just anything of yourself, just to have a face to go with a name and people can relate. And we totally understood that. So we just put up her story without a picture, and her name was there because that actually is part of our application, is that they will need to share that. So if they don't want to, they probably wouldn't be filling out the application.
Yeah. That's got to be tough for, for a lot of people, because by the time they step up and they ask for help to put themselves out there. But it's so true with the times nowadays, you know what I mean? Being honest and having people help fund all of this, it's a 50-50 shot, you know what I mean, of making sure that, everybody's comfortable and doing what they need to do. Trish, tell us a little bit about the social media and how people can get involved with the organization, and how can they help?
Yeah, so our social media, we pretty much, we share nonstop what we're doing. We try to share like the newest findings in cancer research. A lot of it's from, what Dana-Farber's putting out. And we really want, and this touches on what Allie was just saying on sharing their stories, because we really want to, we want to create like this community, and I think we've done a good job at doing that. But we want moms that have maybe past recipients of ours that maybe are in remission to, I'm putting out their story. Oh, this is who we helped this week, or and this is about this mom, and here's about her story, so that an old recipient can reach out to her if she wants to and be like, hang in there. And if they want to start talking privately, they can. We certainly know that has been successful at our walks. We've had many people kind of form bonds, mothers that have both lost daughters at our walks, and siblings of people who are going through it with their sibling. And so social media, we want to use it on so many different levels, right? We want to share recipes that work for us, that are healthy and easy, because, we're moms too, and everybody needs to get healthy, delicious food on the table. So we want to share, this woman that we worked with, that was wonderful. She's doing workouts, like a workout app, so it's like really successful. So we want to share that, anything to do with health and wellness and family life, making family life easier, funny stories. We really want it to be kind of a community page of not just information like, oh, here, we need your donation, but this is what we're doing, this is who we're helping, and so that everybody can chime in. I know that some of our most involved people on our social media are past recipients, and it's wonderful, because I think it puts current recipients at ease, just to feel like, they did this too, they did the same thing as me. But if people want to jump on our social media, we welcome that. I mean, we want to hear from you. If you have something to share, a recipe, a funny story, or something that helped your loved one or somebody get through cancer, or a way that you can help. We've had people be like, what, I'm a photographer. I do family photography. I would love to take pictures of these families. And they got hooked up with Jill, and lo and behold, we're like, if you're a recipient of ours, you can have a family photography session. So anybody that wants to get involved on any level to help these families with cancer, we really welcome it. Jump on our social media, shoot us a line.
And what tell everybody what platforms you're on.
Yeah, so we're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. I don't quite know why yet, but we're there. And my kids are telling me that we need to get on TikTok. Is it TikTok? Maybe in 2023. I'm not so sure what that our audience is there waiting for us on TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok is for the youngins. I don't find that a lot of nonprofits, especially for what we do and the vulnerable personality that we deal with.
Right.
TikTok is the way to go. That's my personal opinion. I mean, everybody has their own, but I mean, the popular ones are Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn I can help you with. I can definitely let you have your voice there because there is definitely a clue there that you need to be on LinkedIn.
Oh, so cool.
But yeah. Now, do you guys do like gathering groups or social networking where like you put support groups, I guess is the word that I'm looking for.
We're trying to get one off the ground. We have an online kind of a chat group. What is the official name for it? What is that thing called?
Oh, I think it is like an online chat
is
room.
it
a
a chat
forum.
room? Yeah, a forum.
like
That
a
was the word
forum.
I'm thinking of.
Forum.
That
Yeah.
we've been attempting to get off the ground. It's just, life kind of happens, and then we end up focusing on money and raising funds, and then we put things on the back burner because other things are more important. It's just, so we do.
Oh, I totally hear you with that, and especially finding a support group. It's hard to find a time that works for everybody.
Yeah.
That I find that if you throw a time out there a couple of times and you have one of your past recipients run the group or somebody that has the time to run the group, it takes a lot off of you guys. But a support group is usually a good way to get the word out there. So what are some of your goals? Go ahead, Trish.
I was just going to say, I know, again, this depends on how well we do in the grant department, but I know it's always been a huge goal of ours to, yes, definitely bring these moms together and their families. But like we want to do, like we've talked about, like, wouldn't it be great if once a month or once every 2 weeks, there was like yoga, with these moms together. Once every 2 weeks, there was like a chef that came in to, the co-op space that you can rent, and he taught them how to cook this cool meal. Like we would love, and I think that is part of our dream, our next step, right? To have activities where they're in person, or the teens of these moms, like let them all go to a BC football game together. They don't get to talk about, their feelings necessarily, but maybe they will, or maybe it'll be nice just to laugh with somebody that they know is going through it too. So that's definitely, I think, the next piece, or one of the next pieces for us.
That's what I was just going to say. A great goal is bringing the kids, because kids become caregivers when mom gets sick. And it's the caregiver that we forget about. You know what I mean? The kid that has to take on all this responsibility, that getting them together with other kids of their age group or other kids who have gone through it is such a huge thing. Plus, it also gives the moms a chance to talk while the kids are interacting together. So that's such a great goal to have. If you guys need any help, setting that up, let me know. I'm a good people connector, so I can help you talk your way through that. But what are some of your other goals, Allison, for 2023? If you had a wish list, what would it be?
It would actually to secure more grants and to raise more funds.
It's always money.
I mean, it's, I hate to say that, but that is, because that's really truly the only way we're going to be able to accept more applications and help more people. Because either Jill or Trish mentioned earlier that the applications are not slowing down. And once we reach that point, we actually have to tell all the social workers that, we work with and say, just to let you know, until our next fundraiser, unfortunately, we cannot help, anybody else. And that is the last thing that we ever want to say to anyone. Like to say that, especially if we get a phone call from, a cancer patient with just questions before filling out the application, to have to say, unfortunately, funds are limited or we can no longer. So that would be our biggest goal, to have, I guess, for fiscal year, to have enough funds to last for all the applications that we receive, and to not have to say no to anyone.
Yeah. Be able to do more.
And what do you have planned this year, so people can put dates on their calendars?
Ooh, we're still deciding actually what to do. So
we are looking into this bowling thing that we think is going to be kind of cool. Bowling teams with brackets for an early spring thing. And our walkathon is huge. And that's always, it's going to be our 10th walkathon, actually.
It's our 10th.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah. So that's Allie. Do we have a date? It's usually the second Sunday in September.
We have not, because it's still too early to
Mhm.
set it, to reserve with the park, but
Borderland.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
What park do you usually do it at? Where do you usually do it?
So it's at Borderland State Park, which is in Easton, Massachusetts. It's probably about, from where we all live, we're like northern Rhode Island. I'm in like the South Coast, so about 35 minutes or so from us. Yeah,
That's
A
not
little,
too
it's
bad.
a little further for us Western Rhode Island
Yeah, oh,
people.
sorry,
Just so
Western,
you know, I'm sort of near you, so it's about an hour.
Nice.
yeah. So that is our big event, and we usually do a different theme every year. So we're in the works about doing something very special, since it will be our 10th 5K that we're hosting. And it's usually the first weekend or second weekend after Labor Day in September.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody can say September. It's going to be a Sunday in September, so that they can all, make sure that they get it on their calendars. And, as soon as you secure some dates, make sure you let us know so we can update everybody on what's going on, because we really want to help. But what are some other ways that people, in the intro before your fundraiser, what are some ways that people can volunteer or help, or like what are some of the wants that you need other than fiscal?
Who wants to?
I don't know who wants to take it. Jill?
Oh, do I know? Everything is fiscal. I was thinking about like the book, but that would include purchasing them. So we're looking, it has to do with money. So I apologize, but we're looking at people who want to buy several books of ours so we can donate them to the hospitals. So the social workers can give them out to the recipients, or just to the moms who maybe
Well,
don't.
how do they go about doing that? How do they purchase them? How much are they? Give us some information about that, Jill.
All right. Well, they're on our website, and we prefer that over Amazon. It is on Amazon also. It is called Supermom versus Cancer, and they are $15. But Amazon takes like 35% of that.
Yeah.
So we prefer no Amazon, but it's okay if you do. But there's also the option of just emailing contact@CarinMacLeanFoundation.org, and we could set up something to larger purchase this bundle of books, so you don't just have to do it.
Well, I'm putting the offer out there that you guys can come on down and book a booth over at Accessibility is Beautiful on September 23rd, 2023, and sell the books there at my accessible event that we're having in downtown Providence. That brings in 5,000 people or so a year. So we will talk more about that. Vendors are open, so we would love to have you down there. Tell a little bit about your story, but bring down the book and sell the book, because I know there'd be a lot of people down there who'd be very interested in that book. So see that? I've already helped you out already.
I love that. I was also going to add to what we could use. Like, we know that, these big fundraisers are tough to get people out in, but if we, what's been successful is, if anybody that's listening or anybody that wants to get involved, if you have a golf tournament every year and you do it for a cause, or like your son's basketball team picks a cause every year, there's so many different ways that you can help nonprofits this day and age. Like, if anybody knows, like, hey, we all play pickleball the first Thursday of the month, and I'd be willing to, do it for a cause, or a yoga instructor that wants to have a class, like, for our nonprofit.
One of our moms group friends from years ago, when Carin was in the moms group, her daughter's softball team was having like a grand slam event, and all the money raised from the bake sale, and they did a per home run. I think it was $20 per home run. They donated all that money to the Carin MacLean Foundation.
Some people do a dress down day at work, right? Didn't somebody do that? A dress down day at work?
Yeah, that was one of our recipients.
Bishop Hendricks.
Yes. I think Lorraine's, we had a past recipient's mom. Remember, Lorraine's company did dress down day. You could wear jeans. Yep. And like
dress down days are fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially go to a school. pay $1 to do dress down day or dress up day with a theme where they can donate all the money. They're very so there's so many ways that people can get involved, but the bottom line is get involved, because there's always a cause out there. There's always a nonprofit, or there's always somebody who is not touched by cancer in this day and age. Everybody is. So you know what? Pick your cause. You know, each month I pick a cause myself, and I run my own nonprofit. But each month I pick a cause myself where I try to raise some money for that cause or for that organization or something, because there's so many causes out there. I always say God made me a variety pack so I can help a lot of people, because you know I touch a little bit of everything with everything that I have going on with me. So there's always a cause out there for everybody to get involved. But you know, give us the website again, Allison, so people know how to get in contact.
Sure. It is www.carinmacleanfoundation.org. CARINMACLEAN Foundation, FOUNDATION.org. And if I could also do, if that's okay, because we did talk a little bit about our book, and that's something if we could just brush upon it briefly, because we are so proud of this. If I could just hold it up, if we can kind of see the Supermom versus Cancer. When we decided to do this, God, I think it would take us 3 years from start to finish.
Yep.
There's 9 children between us, and we were stay-at-home moms. So we've done all our volunteer work for this foundation and writing this book with little people all around us. But keep going.
We had this idea that this is what gave us this idea. We remember Carin showing us this awful book that she got from her social worker that she was supposed to read to her young child so she could understand what mom was going through. So when we then started looking more and more into it, we decided, you know, that's something, another resource that we can do, that we can create. And when we started discussing it, we said, you know, it would be great. We kind of mirrored the family on Carin, you know, because there's an older daughter and a younger son. And we said, okay, how about if it's seen or told through the daughter's eyes? And what she does is a superhero theme, because the younger brother is, you know, really into superheroes, wears a cape, puts the cape on the dog. Everything's about like the good guys and the bad guys. So in this story, we have the mom as a super mom, and then the cancer cells are the bad, you know, the germ cells, and then the chemotherapy is super serum, and then the doctors are superheroes, and it's this whole really great animated scenes, like fight scenes between good and evil, but it just is told in a whole superhero way that I think children can really relate to.
And
I can't wait to read the book myself now.
It's cute. It's cute. We're not authors, but it's very cute, and I think we did a good job.
It's a fun read, and I think it's educational. It gets those words out there, and you know, and it gives them, I guess, it normalizes it. They're gonna know what to expect. The mom loses her hair. Some months mom has a lot of energy and she's out and about with them, but then other months, you know, she's on bed rest, she's tired, she's, you know, and I think the wave of what the child is going to see is well displayed in our book. You know, it's like a good get prepared book in a fun way, you know.
Yeah.
And it ends
it sounds incredible. It sounds incredible, but definitely go to their website, the CarinMacLeanFoundation.org. Go to their website and order it, because, you know, Amazon is great because it's a bigger population, but they do take a big percentage of it. So make sure that, well, if you're going to buy the book from them. Do you guys have a lot of copies of the book that you can sell just in hand?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. So we'll definitely be seeing you guys in September. So I'm excited about that. But Jill, what is a wish list item that you would like to see?
Ooh. I always come back to money because it's just so helpful. I don't know. Maybe we always appreciate the people who come back to us after we've helped them. And this is not anything that we can hold or anything that really helps, the actual business grow. But me personally, I just want that community to grow. I want everybody to kind of think of us as a resource and a family. And I want people to talk about us as this wonderful thing. And Karen's name will live on in this legacy, just with our loving community that we have.
Yeah. Are the children and the husband involved in the foundation?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
hmm
We're all still
They
friends.
must have loved the book. So
Yep.
no, that's incredible that they're still involved. Trish, give me a wish list item that you would like to see.
I want to see us grow, expansion in all ways, all things. I want to do those monthly yoga things. I want this book in hospitals across the country. I want us to grow and really just be able to help as many people going through cancer as we possibly can, however we have to do that.
Yeah. Now that we're nearing the end of the show, Allison, give us a 1-minute wrap up of why people should get involved with your organization.
Okay. Why they should get involved, first off, is that we're all volunteers. No money goes into our pockets. All the funds that we receive go directly to help our recipients who are mothers with school-age children fighting cancer. It's a small community. It's very specific who we help. We share our supporters, their stories and their journeys. So the people that help us, that donate, know exactly who they're helping, and we tell them, where their money is going, whether it's help to childcare or their mortgage or their, excess medical bills that they weren't figuring, to have and cannot cover. So I think we're not this large, nonprofit where you have no idea where your money is going. We're very specific, much smaller community that I think that we need to grow because the demand is there.
Yeah. All right, Trish, you're up.
Okay. Remind me what we were answering one more time.
Your 1-minute wrap up of why they should get involved with your nonprofit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's easy to me. I feel like we all need to do our part, for our community and for the planet that we live on. And like you said, who's not touched by cancer? This is an easy way to throw your hat in the ring and help people in your community do better, to help families, children do better, regardless of the fact that there's cancer. We can do better. And like I said, throw your hat in the ring and get involved. It's what I think life's all about.
Yeah, I completely agree. Okay, Jill, you're up.
All right. Well, Allison and Trish really summed it up very nicely. I just we're good people, and when you are with us, we're friends. We're not like the faceless corporation, like Allison was saying. If you help us, we'll help you. We want to work together. We want to help people. That's all we want, and we have pure intentions. So I don't. It's just a good place.
Yeah. Life is all about working together, and we are stronger together, and nonprofits all need to work together because what you may know, somebody else may not, and vice versa. You can all learn from each other. But what every nonprofit needs is volunteers. They could always use a volunteer. I'm sure there's somebody that that's been touched by cancer, a child that's been touched by cancer, that could share a story, that could share a moment, that could give some time to help out other families. There's always a way that people can help out and volunteer. So throw your hat in the ring and help out the Carin MacLean Foundation.org. We are on board. We are already partnering with them. I have so many ideas that are going through my head right now that I cannot wait to share with all of you. we're stronger together, and we're only going to get through this together. Thank you all so much for taking the time tonight and sharing your story of Carin and letting everybody know what Carin meant to the world and how her life is going to make a difference in the lives of others. So thank you so much for being a part of that and taking the time tonight. I cannot wait to connect with you guys offline and in the future.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you so much, Tina.
you
This
so
was
much.
fun.
This was great. Thank you for
Yeah.
having us.
We'll have to give an update. But I would like to welcome all of my guests back next Wednesday night, same time, same channel. You all know where to find me every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. You see this face, you know that there's going to be a good nonprofit organization, business, or something that I'm promoting to help out. Because again, we're stronger together. And as I always say, don't just sit there, everybody. Make a difference. Have a great night. See you next week.